Welcome to Bourbon Lore and welcome to Paradise Valley and the launch of Bourbon Lore's Legends of American Whiskey, first ever privately held collection to be published in a coffee table book experience. But before we dive into some of this, we have some incredible guests joining us here this weekend, and you might recognize one of them for sure, as we all know, Mr. Dan Callaway. I would say, Dan, I have a few things that I know as fans that we love about you, but why don't you take a minute to share with us a little bit about who you are and your bourbon journey?
Yeah, so I've been with Bardstown Bourbon Company for 7 years now, and just overseeing the product development, our blends, our finishes, really cool projects like this, how we can explore, innovate, and really push some boundaries in whiskey.
7 years, is that pretty much since the beginning?
Bardstown Bourbon Company started it was a cornfield in middle of the bourbon capital of the world in 2014. Started making whiskey in September 2016. And at the time, you couldn't have a restaurant you couldn't sell by the drink in Kentucky at a distillery. In 2018, that law changed, and that's when Bardstown opened up the restaurant and the bar, and Dan was actually brought in to start the restaurant and bar.
We literally know how talented he was going to be and what he could bring to the table. Mr. Mark Erwin, CEO of Bardstown Bourbon Company. Mark, when I first met you, I was quite surprised by some of your background. So maybe help shed a little light with what are you bringing to the Bardstown family with this unique adventure and journey that you've been on over your career?
Yeah, so military guy, spent 26 years in the U.S. Army. So drank a lot of whiskey, but didn't make whiskey. Didn't have a whiskey background, but had business experience. Came into this initially on the board in 2019, and then was asked to come grow the company. And so in summer of 2019, been the best experience in the world to me. I think we probably had about 50 folks there when we started, and Bardstown was doing a lot of unique things. I knew the opportunity that was there for growth of a very innovative company in an industry that's been doing a lot of the same things for a long time. And so had this opportunity, jumped on it, moved from our forever house in North Carolina, moved to the heart of Cornfield, Kentucky, and have loved it ever since. Hadn't looked back. What we've done is grown a team, and everybody talks about their people, no matter what business you're in. I'm telling you, at Bardstown, our people are what this business is all about. And it's the same with whiskey, right? It's the experiences you have and the people you're sharing it with, and that's what you remember about whiskey. And we've had the good fortune to continue to grow our business for quite a long time here. Yeah. So we're having fun with it.
I mean, you think about where you guys were when you first joined, those 50 people, and where you're at now. I mean, it's exceptional.
It was just the right time, right place for the business model. Our founder, Pete Lofton, had purchased $2 million worth of whiskey out of MGP, a big contract distiller in Indiana, just as a commodity investment, saw what a great investment it was, and said, why isn't somebody doing this in Kentucky? So started the business, hired my predecessor, came in and got this beautiful facility built with the whole concept, again, of making whiskey for others, other brands, investors, others in need of the product, while we take the time to build our own brands the right way. And that's been the core focus that we've stuck with. And luckily, our master distiller, Steve Nally, who if you're a follower of the bourbon world, you'll know that name, but Steve's been around for over 50 years in the industry, Maker's Mark Master Distiller for 15 years, just an amazing character in the industry. But he pushed, we gotta wait until our product's 6 years old before we put it in the bottle. And that was a core tenet that we were able to hold to because of the business model, and wait until we believed our products were right. And,
which is not easy to do. I mean, think about 6 years and the level of investment and commitment that requires.
It's just the business model. Again, we had people paying us along the way. Most young brands, you have to make a gin or vodka or continue to raise cash. You got to find some way to keep it alive. Our business model has been something that's helped us do that throughout. So we've been able to wait until we thought we had the best product we could and put it out the right way.
It's and I mean, I think it's a testament to the success that you've had. So Let's start off a little toast. Cheers to Bardstown Bourbon.
Cheers.
Bourbon Lore.
Cheers. Awesome.
Pass me that bottle for a second, please, Mark. Thank you, brother.
Awesome.
One of the things that we appreciate, within Bourbon Lore is that we don't simply want to, just sip on whiskey in the way of, having another bottle that's just on the shelf. How do we create something that's a moment? How do we create an experience to where we can actually bring something to life that maybe hasn't been done before, right? Whether that's in a release, whether that's in a collaboration, whether that's in an experience. I'm kind of curious, how did the collaboration series come about? Like, where was that, brainchild within the, Bardstown family? Like, I'm just curious, like, it's been incredible to see this line grow within the Bardstown lineup.
Yeah, Dan's led that process for us, and Dan's skill set and his background, understanding flavors and how they come together, has helped put all of these together, but also his ability to build relationships. All of these collaborations we do, like this one, we're not paying you, you're not paying us, there's no contracts. We're putting good people together who have ideas about products and want to put something special in a bottle. And that's how these things have come about with Dan leading it.
Yeah, it's in our DNA, this idea of collaborating, sharing ideas. If you come see us on site in Bardstown, you'll see 3 or 4 other master distillers, other teams. We're talking, we're open, we're transparent, and it goes back to the process too. With you guys, it's not just we put a blend and put our names on it. You guys came to our facility, we got a ton of bourbon together and made a blend and truly collaborated to build this.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's fascinating and I love it. And there's also a level of like personal connection to it for, I think, both the fans as well as for us, that truly feels like we helped write a chapter of lore with Bardstown Bourbon Company in this release, right? So I'm curious on the blends versus single barrels, and we know how obviously there's a level of fanfare for those single barrels, and God bless the single barrel, but talk to us a little bit about what is also unique and special about blends coming to American whiskey.
Yeah, so traditionally, blended whiskey has been a dirty word in bourbon, right? Just because the connotation of a neutral grain spirit. What we can do though with transparency and putting the blend on the side, you can see these are all premium, wonderful whiskeys coming together. All the individual pieces make something that's better than any of its individual parts. So this one has some rye in it, really hot, 99% rye with a ton of herbal character. It's also the first blend ever released that combines Bardstown Bourbon Company and Green River.
Which is extraordinary, and we talked a little bit about, we were originally kicking off this idea of being able to team up with you guys for an end-of-year release and tying something with the book, right? And nobody's ever taken the time to want to tell the lore of American whiskey over the last 100 years through 100 incredible brands, through 100 incredible bottles. And if we could do that as Bourbon Lore, we might write a new chapter of lore ourselves in American whiskey. And one of the bottles that we talked about that has such an iconic, role that is played in American whiskey for the better half of a century now is Green River, right? And so this beauty here is in the book, and I think it's a unique way, again, to be able to make something truly special. Is how do we create another one of one with Bardstown Bourbon in the collaboration series with Bourbon Lore in this release, and know that this was one of the key bottles that was going to be featured in our book. So thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome. We're so proud of this brand. We initially bought Green River, the distillery that's got this history of dating back to 1885, with John McCulloch being the first guy to actually start advertising whiskey, and he advertised it as the whiskey without a headache.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
on the label.
medical claim we can't make anymore, but now it's the whiskey without regrets, and it's we literally bought this facility because we needed extra capacity, because we were having a lot of customers in need of whiskey, and we were out of capacity at Bardstown. So that's what targeted Green River for us. And then we go in, and they had just launched this fabulous looking brand, relaunching the original 1885 with some of the same stories behind it, some of the same paraphernalia that were used in the branding back then, and we've brought that back. And it's truly going to be one of the biggest brands in the U.S. It's right time, right place for a product that folks are talking about the quality for the price is unmatched, and that's where we want to be in today's whiskey market. So we're real proud of that brand, and it's we haven't even touched on all the history behind it that we're going to be able to use. So love it being in this book.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
although I don't have one of those bottles that you do. So,
we might have to work on that. All right. You know, if the big boss wants it, we'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out.
I'm thinking of a really special Bourbon Lore experience just for you, Mark, with Green River. So we'll work on an outline later this weekend. You guys have such a unique distillery format, and so I think it's kind of hard to just lump Bardstown Bourbon Company into the Kentucky distillery bucket. And so if you wouldn't mind sharing some of the brands that you collaborate with or work with, I mean, it really is this melting pot, this thinking pot. It's almost like this innovation tank within Kentucky that in the business world, you have these focus groups or these innovation groups that are creating ideas and trying to work on what's the next big thing. You guys are kind of doing that to a certain extent in American whiskey.
Yeah. Well, I'll let Dan talk about some of the brands, but the cool thing is, we're partners with all these brands, right? And there's a lot of people who act like it's competitive because, wait, you're helping these brands launch, but you're launching your brands. And we don't see it that way. We love being a part of other brands and helping them launch their story. Many of our partner brands treat us and are open about, we are their distillery. We invite them in, they bring their folks to their distillery and get to show it off in that manner. That's the whole core behind the business model, and it's been successful. Of course, we all compete, and we're all on the shelves together, and we're out spending marketing dollars behind our brands. But we support a number of brands because everybody doing better in the bourbon world is good for all of us. So
I tides raise all ships.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what we do, we're starting ourselves, right? It's new territory. And the way I've learned and gotten better is working with other brands, right? And sharing information and kind of seeing how we go about things differently. And it makes me so proud when I see another brand that's in our family, right? See success and win an award and know that we worked on it together and see them grow. Part of the reason we needed to expand is our family of brands were growing. And we want to stay with them the entire time.
And Dan's talking about that success. It's absolutely right. I'll brag for a second. The International Wine and Spirits Competition recognized as one of the blind tasting fair competitions out there. You don't pay to play. Our 6-year-old 100% estate distilled 36 high rye bourbon won highest rated whiskey of the year before last. This year, 5-star Five Trail whiskey from Coors Whiskey Company won highest rated whiskey in the world. We made that for them. We made that with them. 15 stars was second place. We make that with them. So it's showing that we're not putting quality towards ours or theirs. We're trying to make the best quality products we can for all our clients. Goes in our bottle. Whatever we make for them, we want the best success for them as well, and we're seeing that every day.
Yeah, and I've had an opportunity to spend some time with David Coors, and he loves the fact that he feels truly like you guys have given him the opportunity to create his own distillate within your framework or within your environment, and so there's that sense of this isn't just your sourcing.
It's truly custom. Everything about the process is custom. Some people, they don't even know what they want when they come to us. And Dan will sit down with them and talk them through different whiskeys and taste different flavors and help them design what they want to make their custom product. So it truly is the only facility that's doing custom grain to glass. I mean, we're helping them design their product. We're making it for them, we're storing it for them, and we've got a world-class bottling facility, so prepping it to go to market for them. We don't market and sell it for them, that's theirs. That's where the competition starts, but we certainly try to make it's totally custom and try to put the best thing in the bottle that they can.
Yeah, well said. When you think about kind of where American whiskey is right now and just some of the evolution you've seen in your tenure for both of you, what are you looking at in 2025? Is the game plan changing in any aspect for you? or is the focus still the same? I'm just curious because obviously there's a lot of conversation happening with certain brands and craft, and what does it look like? I mean, obviously, I still look at you guys as kind of craft with this innovational spirit, but you're a very big player on the ultra craft scene.
Yeah. Yeah, we call ourselves the big little guys. We make a lot of whiskey, but we're still small on the brand side, obviously. But look, we all saw the rise. COVID, everybody started putting products out, expensive products, and we basically sold everything that we put out, no matter what price point you put it out at. In 23, that tightened and has continued through 24, and folks are looking for better quality at lower price points, and that's something that's happened to the whole industry. You know, we've really got two core pieces of our business. We've got the custom business that we make a lot of whiskey for others, and frankly, this business model, it's been successful, so any business model, others come in to sign up. So we've got competition now trying to replicate the business model, which certainly is going to impact prices. But overall, with an industry slowdown, there's plenty of whiskey out there, so all prices are being impacted by that, and I think they'll continue. But I think in general, just like any market, it's the up and downs, and we're in a bit of a downturn now, but it's going to level out probably in 25 at some point. And, you know, that's on the custom bulk whiskey side.
Right.
The cool thing about our business is now we're able to truly focus, and we've built an incredible team on the branded side as well with our sales and marketing team. So 2 great brands at the price points that folks are looking at. Quality whiskey from $35 to $50, and all of our products the majority of our products are within that range. We're putting the things out that people are talking about, quality for price, and that's where we want to be. So we're looking to take market share.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
You know, I've seen some numbers. And
growing
like
2 brands.
You guys have had a pretty good year this year.
The brand growth is exciting. The cool thing is we've built 2 completely separate teams, so the brand growth and the focus doesn't take away from the ability to continue to make that great custom whiskey for all our other partners. So it's a unique thing that we've put together, and we're quite proud of both sides of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's spot on. And I think we're focusing on exactly those products that Mark is highlighting. It's that quality distillate at a great value. We still have the flexibility, though, to innovate and have some fun with things like this. And you'll see those kind of small little, you know,
little nuance
releases.
Something special.
Very cool to see.
I'm curious, as 2 individuals that have a fairly short but becoming a longer tenure in the space, who do you admire, who do you respect that's in the game that you sometimes look at?
Yeah, I think we have built kind of this legendary team of you know, when I come to work, I'm surrounded by people that have been in the industry for a very long time. Take someone like Justin Willett, who started way back Heaven Hill through Sazerac, built huge facilities for them. And then his mentor, Johnny Caldwell, who taught Justin everything he knows, is hired and part of our team. Right?
Works for Justin.
Right. Yeah. So
It's come full circle.
You look at that on an operational side. On our marketing team, you've got individuals that have built entire careers and are now choosing to come to Bardstown and be a part of what we're building.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm surrounded by talent, and I can just be a sponge when I come to work.
I love it.
New into the industry, obviously, came in a little over 5 years ago, so learning every day still. Have made some great friends and had some really good advisors on both the business side and the whiskey side. Obviously, my mission is to drive the business side of it. I've become friends with Joe Magliocco at Michter's. Love him. Just an incredibly nice person, literally, who's obviously grown an incredible business around his Michter's brand. So yeah, we're going to keep biting at Joe's market share.
Yeah, that's it. I think he might be sitting with you at your table, so I might have to make a note here. We need a couple seats of separation.
Yeah, no, we enjoy. That's the cool thing about this industry, right? Literally, people can come together. As you know, we're with Connor from Heaven Hill last night, and you know, we can hang out together, enjoy each other's products together, and it's just an industry unlike any other I can imagine.
Totally.
Pretty special.
It is.
When you think about the consumer experience and you think about what Bourbon Lore is pushing the envelope and doing, I'm curious, words of advice, wisdom for us as a team with wanting to elevate the experiential side of American whiskey and creating these unique releases with incredible brands like yourself, but also in these destinations that we're hosting these programs at.
So, one of the when I first got there, Dan was running the hospitality, so he was running the bar and restaurant. But we were just launching our experience center too, so our visitors experience center. Dan took charge of that, and the one thing that I told Dan is he continues to move up in the organization and is now running all our product development as the master blender. He's never going to get out of creating the experiences that folks have at Bardstown, right? Because that's a
vivid memory.
Well, it's such a key part of everything, right? The experiences are what people take away. I mean, they want great whiskey. You got to have good products, but the experience is what it's all about, and that's what I know that you, with this whole endeavor here, are trying to make sure that you're giving people those memorable experiences that are one of a kind. So
exactly.
It's exactly where you need to go with it.
When we started, we took every tour in Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
And learned it. And it's like, how can we separate ourselves? How can we be the experience that people say, when I go back, I'm bringing my friends to Bardstown Bourbon Company. And I think we did it. We
are doing it. We got to keep, because you got to keep
Did it?
innovating.
Like, is it over? I mean,
This
I
is
hear
me
that it's
getting
still
out.
working. We're still working on this, Dan.
Yeah, but it's just doing something different. Tactile, immersive experiences. That's what we really leaned into. And never the traditional tour, right? Where it's just, it could be in any factory and you're going around. How can you dive into things, taste things, touch things, and just do things in a completely unique way? And people will remember that, and that's how we can build our brand.
And continuing to innovate, right? Because people keep coming back. They're not going to want to do the same thing every time. So you got to keep coming up with these different types of experiences. And that's one of the things we've been able to do as well, is create different spaces. You've seen the outdoor bar, you've seen the glass warehouse, you've seen the bar on the side of a rick house. We'll continue to try to find ways to create unique experiences for folks.
The vintage library.
The vintage library is off the charts, so I think that's key. People want to keep having different experiences, even if they're doing it with the same people.
Yeah.
Well said. I couldn't think of a better opportunity to share the love of American whiskey and the lore through this conversation about Bardstown Bourbon Company. Mark, thank you very much. Dan, thank you. Cheers to Bardstown Bourbon Company. Cheers to Bourbon Lore, and cheers to our collaboration series. So thank you very much. Salute.